This is the second time that I've recorded this. The first time I recorded it, I like scripted it out, and I don't know, there's something about it wasn't right, and it has been pestering me. I've already got it uploaded. It's just, you know, not listed. I mean, not published or whatnot. And I just don't feel like it's right. I don't feel like it's me. It's not correct. So I'll get up to a fail. It's fine. No big deal. We'll just move on to the next one. But it keeps irritating me that I have not shared this. And maybe it's just a personal confession kind of thing. Something that I need to share with you all. But it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm supposed to share it. So here we are, take 2. We're going to see how it goes today. Hopefully this one works out. If not, I'm sure that the Lord's going to make me redo it. Okay, I'm not there. You can see her beside me. She's like, no, I got to be on your lap. Take some notes of things that I really wanted to make sure that I shared. Because if not, when I'm editing, I'll be like, darn it, I wanted to say that, or I was supposed to say that. This came to me when I was working in the garden a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, the idea came to me, well, the thoughts came to me, the breakthrough, I guess you would say. I was thinking about it. I was like, you need to get that video redone, and you need to get it up. So even if it's not to help somebody else and it's just for me, just to get it out there, maybe that was the point of it. But a few weeks ago, I went up and was doing some work in the garden. Garden space is not what my plans and hopes and dreams was for the year. Well, most, you might know. We had everything that we was supposed to have, right? We had all the material, we had all the metal, and it never happened. It was one of those things. He would say, you know, we have time, and I remember specifically telling him, we have time until we don't have time. Like, that's just how we work. I know that that's how things are for us. We will, you know, we'll have time. We'll be like, we're gonna do this before we do that, and then we never come back to that. It's just, we add this, this, and this, and then next thing you know, we forgot where we were supposed to be. So I told him that, and then things came up, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. He has one project that he wanted to get done first, and then we're gonna do the beds. And there's one time I told him, I said, you need to, you know, get that finished so that we can get my beds done, because I'm not gonna do a garden if I don't have my bed. Fast forward to now, and that thing that he wanted to get done first, it's still not done. So it's not like he done the thing that needed to get done first and then he just didn't do my beds. It never got done. The beds never got done. And so me throwing a little hissy fits, because that's what it was, right? Even as adults, if things don't go our way, we throw temper tantrums. Like, they're not like age restricted. They're not just something that toddlers do. We do it too. So I was like, no beds, no garden. I'm not doing anything if I don't have the garden space that I planned on having. And that was what I stuck with for a pretty good while. I don't remember even when I planted the tomatoes. I think I shared that with you guys, but it would have been like, we're going to say June. It was way later than it should have been, but I knew it was still early enough because we do have kind of a long growing season here. I knew that I still had time to, you know, do something. And I was just like fussy about it, and God was like, you know, you have a bed, you're not using it, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. That's on you that you didn't use what you have out there. So I put some tomato seeds in the hydro garden, and we grew some tomatoes. And for a while that was good enough for me. But then we was at the grocery store one day, and I was buying cucumbers. And if you was around last year, you know that we grew an abundance of cucumbers. Last year our garden did not do great. I put it in the ground. I hate in-ground gardening. It's just not my thing. But I'm not good at weed control, and having it in the ground, it isn't for me. So but last year the garden didn't do great. Nobody's garden around here really did great. It was like a really dry year, and stuff didn't do good. However, my cucumbers done fantastic. Probably the best they've ever done. They was beautiful. They was delicious. And so when I was at the store buying cucumbers, hissy fit. It wasn't anything that I done outwardly. I try my best. I'm human. I feel. Ask my husband. I try not to nag and fuss at John. I used to be really bad about it. but I try not to be now, because nagging just puts you both in a bad mood. Nagging doesn't get anything done. It don't get anything done faster. It definitely doesn't around here, and it just makes things worse. So I try not to nag things. And so internally, while I was buying the cucumbers at the store, I just instantly started throwing an internal hissy fit, and it's like, I shouldn't be buying these. I should have my own at home. Why don't things work out for me? Out there to check on the tomatoes one day, and I just remembered, I was like, I should have cucumbers out here, and it just put me in a bad mood all over again. And the Lord kind of nudged me, and He's like, the only person at fault for you not having cucumbers is you. Yes, John didn't get my beds built like he was supposed to, but I still could have put some in the ground. And so I was like, okay God. I made a plan. I made me a little tiny plot and just a little wood pieces, and put me a little cucumber bed out there. Now, it wasn't much, but we've already got multiple cucumbers off of them. We're not looking for an abundance. I just wanted to be able to grow some. And again, I was satiated a little bit for a while. However, caterpillars have just tried to devour my tomatoes. They've done some pretty bad damage to them, and they was really doing a number on it. I wasn't taking care of it how I was supposed to either. We're gonna be honest. They was falling over. They wasn't really getting weedy because of the way that they're up. They don't really get weedy, but I wasn't taking care of them how I was supposed to. They was falling over, they was breaking, and the caterpillars. And I was out there huffing and puffing one day all by myself. When I do the most huffing and puffing is by myself, because I just try to not be a negative person. I don't like being around negativity all the time. It doesn't help. It puts everybody in a bad mood. It doesn't help. It makes things worse, to be honest. And so, even out there by myself though, but I was out there huffing and puffing, and just like, this isn't how it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be this big, beautiful garden, and I was supposed to be happy to be out here, not me be out here being hateful and just not happy to be here, because I don't enjoy being in the garden space we have this year. It's not much of a garden space. I go out there and I'm like, this isn't even a garden. I love sitting in the garden space or just walking through it. Not so much this year. So I was out there looking at the tomatoes and making a game plan for these caterpillars. For some reason, I want to keep calling them cucumbers, but I was out there making a game plan for these caterpillars, and huffing and puffing and being, you know, I was like, this isn't what it's supposed to be. This is trash. It's not. I'm upset. I deserved more. That is one of the things that went through my head, is I felt like I deserved more. And let's just say that God showed up, and I wasn't wearing any shoes, okay? And so He really was stepping on my toes out there, and He told me that I'm not grateful for what I have. I'm not taking care of it how I'm supposed to be. I'm not stewarding to the spaces that I have now. If I'm not grateful when I have just a small amount, why would I be grateful for more? And I thought of the Bible verse, Luke 16:10, how if you're not faithful with little, that you're not going to be faithful with a lot. I was huffing and puffing over my little because I wanted more, when I wasn't even thankful for what little that I had. So why would I want more when I wasn't happy with having a little? Like, if you can't have one and be happy with it, why would you deserve 10? Like, why would I think that I should have more if I'm just going to be selfish is the right word, I guess, with what little I have. If I'm going to be selfish with it and not take care of it and not care for it as if it is an abundance, why would I have more? Why would I expect that more would make me more grateful? It's more work. So would I necessarily be more grateful for more work? Probably not. I probably would have been fussing that it was hard at that point. Hopefully next year we can see if that is the case. I want to take it out of the garden, right? Because it goes farther than the garden. It goes into everyday life things. Like, I wasn't happy with my small garden, so would I have been happy with a farm, right? More work, more pressure. Like I said, we're going to take it out of the garden. We live in a world full of more. Like, more is better. We all want more. And if it's not to a certain standard or a certain amount, then we don't think that it's worthy of praise, or it's not worthy of thankfulness. Like, we all want more money, or more followers, ouch, or more likes, or more views, and more recognition, and just an abundance of everything. And if we have to set a minimum on things before that we feel like we can be thankful for it, or grateful for it, or take care of it, we need to kind of take a step back and reevaluate. Because it doesn't matter if you have 12 followers or you have 1,200 followers. You should still be treating them just the same. Doesn't matter if you have 7,000 subscribers or 170,000. You should be grateful for each and every one of them. And it's just something that I struggle with, and I'm sure it's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially when you set a standard for yourself or for your life or a goal or whatnot, and you're like, okay, I want to reach this by this age or this time of year, or things like that. And when we fall short, we feel like we failed, or sometimes we won't even try because we're afraid of failing, and we're afraid that if we don't meet that goal, it means something about us, like that we're not good enough or we're not worthy. But we need to realize that every amount, no matter if it's big or small, it deserves people to be grateful for it, and to have gratitude over it, and to take care of it as you should. I didn't take care of my garden as I should have because I felt like it was too small. It wasn't what I planned on, and so I didn't steward it well. I didn't tend to it the way I was supposed to. I didn't pay attention to it the way I was supposed to, and it suffered because of that. It could have been even more abundant if I would have just took a step back and realized that it's such a small thing that it doesn't really matter, that there's only a few of us anyway. So I didn't need this big elaborate garden, or I didn't need this big plot. That I was wanting that, and I still want that, don't get me wrong, but I was wanting it because I felt like that was what was expected of me. I seen others people had that, and I felt like I was falling short, and I felt worthy of more, which can be a very slippery slope, and it can be a dangerous place to be, because in the end, we're not worthy. Nobody is worthy of what we have. And I know people work hard for things, and people don't get stuff for free. I know that. Like, if you know any amount of mine and John's story, you know that I know that. We've lived that. And so I am grateful for what I have. I have way more than I will ever deserve. But I'm also still human, and so I still have these moments of thinking, this isn't what I wanted, this isn't what I deserved. And it's not always about getting what you deserve, and I'm so thankful for that. Let me tell you, sometimes if I got what I deserved, remember that. So, yes, I am thankful that we get so much more than we deserve, because I know that I don't deserve nearly what I have, and that I need to be thankful for the big picture, and sometimes the little things, like my little small beds, my big plans, and my small garden. Sometimes that don't matter. Things work out how they're supposed to, and sometimes things don't work out how they're supposed to, because you won't do what you're supposed to in the first place, which is what I felt like I felt that I'm supposed to, whether I have 2 beds or 6. I'm supposed to take care of it and steward it and be faithful with it, just the same as if I had 6 or 10 or who knows how many beds. But my camera died. I think I covered everything that I wrote down here. Sort of. I didn't want to be looking down. We're trying to figure this out. I enjoy doing them, but we'll see. It's a work in progress, nonetheless. But we will see you all next time. If there's a topic or subject that you want to cover, doesn't even necessarily have to be biblically. It can just be, I don't know, just whatever. Let me know down below, and I will look into it and study it, and maybe we'll come up with a little chat for that as well. But we'll see you all next time.